What's going on, Jets fans? This is my draft day attire, by the way. Don't worry, I have showered, but all these videos I've been in the rocking the Jets hoodie and hat. It's just my good luck charm for draft day. Drop your draft day, draft weekend traditions below. Let's get right into it, man. What I love about all of the Jets draft picks thus far, making this video right after we just took Jeremy Ruckert. So we've got Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, Jermaine Johnson, Breece Hall, and Jeremy Ruckert. And what I love about all five of these picks is Joe Douglas has gone with players with really high floors. We talk about that all the time during draft season. Low floor, high ceiling, high floor, safe bet, boom or bust, right? But we've taken guys who all actually have high floors and high ceilings, right? Oftentimes you have to make a compromise there. Not us. Because let's talk about the floor of all of these picks. What is like the worst case scenario? Obviously injury is the worst case scenario, or like off the field issues. But just as football talents, what's the worst case scenario for these players? Sauce Gardner, ceiling, obviously Hall of Fame corner. But the worst case scenario, I'm like the worst I can imagine Sauce Gardner being is like an above average starting corner. Worst case scenario. Would that be a disappointment? Yeah, but it's not like he's a guy who's like, out of the league in 3 years or a complete bust. Worst case scenario for Garrett Wilson. Well, let's talk best case scenario first. Best case scenario is he's Stephon Diggs. He's an all-pro wide receiver. Best case scenario. Worst case scenario for Garrett Wilson is he's a highly productive slot receiver. He's Jamison Crowder. Worst case, absolute worst case, get you 700-800 yards out of the slot. Jermaine Johnson. What's his ceiling? Some people had him as edge 2 in the class. So I guess that's his ceiling. What's his floor? A guy who's really solid against the run and throws you 5 sacks a year. And every team could use one of those. Worst case scenario. Breece Hall. Ceiling. Same as Sauce, dude. Like an all-pro caliber running back. First best running back in the class, bar none. And what's the floor? There's just no, I don't know. There's just no way he's not going to be really good. I think it's just the positional value of running back is why he was there. But the floor is probably a really good running back too. Worst case scenario for Breece Hall. And then Jeremy Ruckert, the ceiling. Now we're talking the third round now, so we're not talking Hall of Fame caliber players anymore. But the ceiling is a above average starting tight end in the NFL. And the worst case scenario is that he's your number 3 and he's a reliable backup and a good roster spot and maybe play some special teams. So I'm not going to jinx anybody and say that any of these guys are bust proof, but man, just really, really high floors on all these players. And I think that is one of the components that has made this a great draft. Let's go Jets.